This is the Crocodile Stitch. I finished my 4 rows of the frame, and now I have to travel my yarn down to the first starting point. You want to keep your loops here big when you do these first slip stitches, or else you'll scrunch up your frame. You want to go down the starting chain, pull your loop out pretty big. You want to go between the DCs. You won't see any of this because it'll be buried. Okay, I want to start my first crocodile stitch scale. There'll be a slip stitch between each one to hold them down. So the easiest way to do this is to take your piece and turn it upside down and pull up the edge. This stitch has a lot of turning that you have to do, not front to back, but from side to side. Turn counterclockwise, because you got your first double crochet increase here, which is where your first scale will be. Turn it counterclockwise, and what you want to do is pinch the first double crochet of that increase. That's where you're going to make your first 5 double crochets. And they will get a little tight on there. You just have to scrunch them all on there. There's 4. One more. Oops. Chain 1. Now what you got to, that's one side of your one scale. Now what you got to do is turn it clockwise to the 3 o'clock position. Grab the other double crochet there. You got to make sure you just get that one, or else you'll have a mess. And you do 5 more. It's 4. And there's your scale. Now what you want to do is go to your next starting point, which will always be in the same spot, and put in a slip stitch. Once you're done with this, you can go back around and straighten out all your points, make them all nice and even. So I got my next double crochet increase down here. I'm going to turn it to the left and pinch the first one. If you pinch in there, it'll open it up for you to do your next 5 of your second scale. Oops. Too early. There's 5, chain 1, turn it the opposite direction. Get in there and pinch it open. going to get our slip stitch in. There's 2. Once you go around and do all these, when you get all 4 rows done, it'll have things kind of pulled together, so you'll have to go around and kind of stretch it out, get it to relax. Then once you get your row in after all the crocodile stitches, it'll stay open. Holding the work while doing this stitch is the most difficult part of doing this stitch, because most people online don't tell you how to hold it. You just have to figure it out which way to point it. That's 5. But if you remember, start pointing it to the left, then turning it, point to the right. It gets easy. This is basically nothing but double crochets. A lot of them. Each row in this pattern has 750 double crochets, not counting the frame. And remember, this is not the normal way to do the stitch. Normally you build 1 row of frame, then do 1 row of scales, but you don't want that for this pattern, or else your scales are all going to point towards the middle. This, you build your entire frame from the inside out, then go back and do your scales from the outside to the inside. Then you'll have a yarn break and take your yarn back out to the edge to keep going on the pattern. And when doing this, you don't want to count the top of the next row as one of your double crochets. So if you do, it'll look wonky.